Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. A very quick, very quick after episode 2. Episode 3 of the podcast, very serious topic. No jokes like the usual podcast. This is all serious. This isn't like, there might be some jokes in there, obviously, because we're funny people. But this is a serious topic, serious conversation about, what would you guys name this? The culture? Not culture. The current standings of African Americans in America. Some shit like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I mean.
Black and white.
Y'all know exactly what I
Not
mean.
Not even that.
And
just,
y'all get it, bro.
No.
And this, the recap so far is
basically the culture.
The recap
disclaimer
so far
though.
is
Disclaimer. I need everybody to. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh no, I need
everybody to realize we are not racist in the slightest. We accept everyone for who they are, but
if anything,
don't say it. Don't even say it.
Don't even
say it.
Okay.
Am I pocket racist? don't even say it. Don't even say it, bro. No. I didn't finish it.
All right, before we do anything, because I don't want to leave y'all on the cliffhanger, I was going to say pocket racist, okay? Now, everyone chill out, everyone calm down. A pocket racist is someone who's not a true racist, no real racist intent whatsoever, but constantly indulges in racist jokes or ideals. All right, that's it. That's what y'all know. But anywho, basically the whole topic, we've just been talking about, Derek went on about for 20 minutes about something.
Bro, it hits, bro, like once you've lived it. And I know each and every single one of us has had an encounter with just something that is not fair. Not even the law, bro, just something that is not fair. Maybe it's not fair.
Like the thing is, we as African American males, young African American males, like when we're kids and our parents are telling us, stay safe, I love you, don't do anything stupid because I don't want to see you end up here, there, or there. When you're a kid, you just hear it as more words from your parents. You're just sitting there thinking, it's just my mom telling me this stuff. She tells me this all the time. When you get into like teenagehood, adulthood, you really start to take those words for what they are, because you see the world in a much bigger picture than what you did as a kid. You don't just see with tunnel vision anymore. The words stay safe, I love you, I don't want to see you do this, they resonate and hit way harder because you see the stuff that goes on in the world. I told Derek plenty of times over the last 2.5, 3 years, when I walk out the house, it's not just sunshine and rainbows. No, when I walk out the house, I know I could die that day. And nobody likes living like that. And I'm not saying everybody lives like that, but mainly African Americans, males, maybe even females, live like that. I was talking to Carrington about 3 months ago. I told her, I know any moment I could walk out this house, I cannot come back. Case in point, buddy who got shot in Georgia for just taking a jog. Do you honestly think when he took that jog, did you think he knew he was going to get shot that day? No, he just thought he was going for another jog. He got ambushed, he got jumped, he got shot. And that's just, and people say we're overreacting, and people blame, and people are just saying, well, black people need to do this and black people need to do that to make themselves less of a target. What are we doing to make ourselves a target? What was he doing to make himself a target? What was Trayvon Martin doing to make himself a target? What was the dude in Michigan doing to make himself a target? What were all of them doing to make themselves a target?
I understand. Some of us dress as if we are about to do something,
completely stupid.
Yeah, completely stupid, very illegal. But those are just looks. Everyone has a different sense of style. And most of us wear hoodies and sweatpants because it's comfortable. Like black matches with everything. But the fact that you guys, I'm not going to say you guys, just the fact that people mark us and call us delinquents and shit like that because we are wearing all black hoodies and we look very, very liable to do something, doesn't mean we are. Like, we get us as us as black individuals get profiled every day. And the majority of the time, we don't even realize it, bro. Like, here in Iowa, it's predominantly white. I walk into Walmart every day, get profiled. I am followed. Why? Because I am a big black man. They don't know my background. They know nothing about me, but yet they follow me because they feel that I am about to steal. And it's just ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. If anyone's gonna steal, it's those, like, I've been in a bunch of groups. If anybody's liable to steal, it's the kids in the big groups. They don't care. They're young and they're dumb. All four of us, educated young men, ready to do something with our lives. Yeah. Like, I don't have time to be out here going to jail for stupid shit that I know that I can afford. Like, I can't. My family wants more from me, and I know a lot of y'all families want more from y'all. We are here. We all have a purpose, and I know for a fact my purpose is not to go out there and get shot by a fucking cop or shot by anybody. My purpose is not to be shut down because I'm a black man and you think that I'm not educated enough. Like, it's not fair. It really is not. And I don't feel that we should work harder. We should have to work harder, just like most women in this economy. We shouldn't have to work harder to get the best jobs. We should not be denied certain things because the skin tone of our just complexion. It's not okay. If you took the time to get to know us, you'd realize we are not vigilant. We're none of these things that you all think we are. We may dress like we're hood and gangsters, and yes, I may have lived through that life, but I am the farthest thing from it. I don't want to be like it, and I'm damn sure not gonna die in a fucking prison cell. I'm gonna make sure of that, and I'm gonna make sure my kids and my friends know this. That it's not cool. Profiling ain't a thing to joke around about. But yeah, y'all go ahead, bro. I'm done rambling.
Who wants to go next? Because I mean,
I would. You see, I would have something to say, like, sort of relating to D-Grub, but I never got to experience that shit because Canada and the fact that people are absolutely polite. Yeah, that's not just a stereotype. That's also the truth. The only thing that I will say about it is that for me growing up, because I'm not trying to say that, and just disclaimer for y'all that are listening or watching this, I'm not trying to compare at all. Like, no one's trying to compare whose lives are better, who's lived this, who's a blah 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 blah. We're just sharing our opinions on this shit. Well, in Canada, like, the only thing I've experienced that was close to that was just a whole lot of racism and stereotypes. Like, I don't get it. My mom always told me, like, exactly what D-Grub was saying. Like, parents tell you, like, you know, love you, stay safe, you know, don't do anything stupid. Like, some people took that to a whole other level of like racism and stereotypes. Instead of just, you know, doing the work just because of your complexion and all that, they would joke around about that. Like, this one time I was in high school and I was just chilling outside of English class. I was doing nothing, and I wasn't doing much. I was just hanging with my boy Toby, my boy Michael. We were just vibing, listening to some electro because we were nerds. And then this dude, Christian Cornell, comes up, right? He just comes up, and he's like a big white dude. Like, dude's been lifting in the gym.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I it just came out.
But like, he comes up, right? And so I was just standing waiting for class. He comes up and he's like, and he then just looks at me, and he's like, "Hey, give me your money." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Give me your money." I'm like, "Why? Wait, what? Why would I have to give you your money?" He said, and he said to me, "Oh, because you're black, aren't you?" And I'm like, you better just go and get out my face real quick, please. Just
By the
go.
way, Eric, I
Then-
hate to do this, but podcast rules, everyone gets like
5
5
minutes.
5-6 minutes.
That's
per
why I had to
story.
cut mine short too, bro.
Oh.
I
Alright,
forgot
well,
to mention
basically-
that before the podcast. I'm
Damn it.
sorry.
All right. Well, I'll speed mine up. Basically, he was just going about a whole bunch of stereotypical jokes about my color and the stereotypes behind that. And then last part, I was just very freaking confused. Buddy pulls out a gun to my stomach and then tells me, "Give me your money." Just over a joke. Because at the end of all of it, like, I defended myself and I deflected it. And then when there was the whole parent meeting, he literally said it right in front of his mom. It was just a joke. His mom broke down. Like, people don't understand that this is not funny. I don't get what twisted sense of humor we have in a society. Like, I get dark humor and all that, but
I don't think a gun to the stomach is dark humor.
A gun to the stomach is not humor at all, bro. That's nothing to play with.
I know, but then it's like people like him literally think it's dark humor.
That
And it's
there's
so-
a difference.
It's
There's
like
a
the
huge
Trevor we didn't
difference.
ask for.
Exactly.
I won't give an example of dark humor because this is not the time, but I know the difference between that
Like-
and dark humor.
Like,
I think
if
all
there's
of
one last thing I am gonna say is that I don't think is that people literally take these stereotypes and just make jokes out of them. Like, I get people want to be positive, but people are overdoing it now, and it's just horrible. No, stop. Get some help.
Your turn.
Anyways.
Oh man.
Get some
Go
help.
on, Tom.
So, I mean, as of me still being of a light-skinned complexion, I'm still profiled as a black man. And of being that skin color, it's still hard for me to even have the sense of having a type of right. So at times, even if I do feel like I have certain occasional rights, you know, because I mean, I have a black counselor, and he's really nice, very nice guy. I used to doubt him because, you know, he'd always be hard on me, but then I finally accepted the fact that he was only doing it because the hardships of certain things of being a black male is mostly because of just the mental oppression. So then from that, he was just basically training me. My father trained me about that too. And even, you know, even during like class when I'd learn about slavery and certain topics about like, you know, just oppression in general and in sociology, all this type of stuff, just all this just intelligence that I gained just from like, you know, just listening. It was just all about just oppression and how blacks are just like, you know, just treated poorly. And even of me being just that certain percentage of black still counts me as a black male, even of being a mixed male, just like how Eric's mixed too. He's still black, and it's crazy. It's crazy enough because I mean the darkest person I know is my father, and my uncles and probably a couple of my nephews, but to just see them, you know, just it's just a struggle because like my I'm just gonna keep it short because, like, just from different perspectives. My uncle Booga, he's in jail. He was in jail for, I think, under the influence or something like that. But he was a real crackhead, and it was terrible for him because he took some wrong turns and he was real hardhead. My father, on the other hand, he almost fell into that same route in certain occasions, but he was a smarter man than that. And you know, he's having a steady job, and you know, it's not one of the best jobs, but it's paying him. And the fact that he's still basically getting through life, and he's 50 years old. Like I'm about 18, and that's the craziest thing, that my father's still alive at 50 years old. Because like most people would think that either, oh, your father left, or he's not there, or he's dead, or he passed away, or you know, you never had a dad in the first place. But it's like my father's still there. My mom white as snow too. And that's the craziest part. They both treat me just as much as a regular kid as anybody else. They taught me about how hard the world is, even as being a hard, you know, just a breeded child. I'm still black, I'm still white, but the world will mostly treat me like black, so I have to show them how black I am.
Alrighty, next, and it's one of the things that when you get older, for the people who, what can I say? For the people who like don't understand exactly what we're going through, you never truly understand what anybody's going through unless you walk in their shoes. And it's just one thing you'll never understand unless someone does it, which is why I really appreciate people like in my life, Mr. Davis. I appreciate Mr. Davis, Mr. Richardson, Coach Dozier, Coach Ross, all my other coaches, you know. It's just all those people, like when you get to high school and you just see those principles, the African American principles, you realize very quickly they're not getting on you because they don't like you. They genuinely want to see you succeed in life. They want to see you get an education. They want to see you be successful. And it's the same. And tell me if I'm wrong, but the way you hear them talk is the exact same way you hear your parents talk.
Your parents.
And it's just,
cousins.
it just begins to like comprehend with you. And it's just sitting there, whoa, whoa, that's what my mom is always telling me. That's what my dad is always telling me. And that's when it really starts to click when you get to high school. Because after high school, this is no joke. This is no game. You're out on there on your own. You're an adult. You have to start applying everything they say, and you have to be successful and do something, which is why you can't just when you get out of high school, unless you're working a multi-millionaire job where it doesn't matter how you look, you have to look a certain way and you have to do things a certain way, or else you're going to get shot, or else you're going to get put in jail. You're not going to get an opportunity. And I'm not saying all people are racist or all people look down on blacks, but the chance is still very likely. And people see me all the time with like a Westwood hoodie or any type of if I have a hoodie, it has something on it. It's never just a plain black hoodie. And it's not even because only it feels comfortable, but because if I run into a random adult, they know at least I did this with my life. He was at least on a high school basketball team. He has some skills, some brains. You know, you have to show people you do something. Because if you don't show them you do something, in some people's eyes, you're just a know-nothing black man. And that's what my mom is telling me all the time. And when I was younger, I just brushed it all off. I just sat there and went, I'm not a know-nothing black man. I know I'm something. But as I get older, and I see the people who truly view me that way, I just sit there and go, damn, mom was right. These people really look at me like I'm a know-nothing black man. And you just have to... And that's why getting an education is important. That's why listening to your parents is important. That's why doing all this they tell you, they're not just telling you bullshit because they're just telling you BS. They're telling you stuff that you need to hear. Which is why you need to succeed in life and you need to do something with your life. My mom tells me all the time, I don't want to watch you become a statistic, because every time I turn on the news, another one's gone, another one gets shot. And it's weird because we're starting to become numb to it. That's how frequently it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just as simple as it could all easily be avoided, but it's not, because it doesn't matter what color your skin is. You can still be a terrible person. And I think you're just an awful person. If you do something like that, you're just an awful person. And it just comes down to that. I don't want to hear... And last point I'll make before someone else goes... when the black person gets put in jail, we're a thug. We're gang affiliated. We're criminals. Put them in jail for life. We get life sentences. I've seen so many black people get life sentences for stuff they didn't even do. But when the white person gets put in jail or gets put in court, they're mentally ill. They're not all the way there. Their father didn't do this or do that.
That's a good
and they blame it on the way they grew up. But what about the way that we grew up? Look at where we come from. And that's not by choice. Most of us are actually stuck there at a dead-end job trying their hardest. Like, I get it. Peach, I'm sorry, Peach, were you done? I'm so sorry.
Oh, last thing I have to say, it doesn't matter what color of black you are, you can still get profiled. I'm light-skinned, but it doesn't matter to the people who just like, well, you're light-skinned, Peach. No, it doesn't matter. I'm still black. And that's what they're going to look at the end of the day. All right, I'm done now.
Okay. But yeah, some people... okay, education is very important, like Peach was saying. But for some people, education is not... It's not for them. They can't get it. They can't access any of it. Maybe they had to drop out of school, to work a job because their parents fell ill and they have to take care of their younger siblings. We go through a lot of things that a lot of people don't see and they don't take into consideration. And last thing, and then I'm done. I got two things left to say. First thing, stereotypes. They're cool to joke around about. It's cool
With your
to
close friends,
joke around and close friends and all that. But when you actually feel that those stereotypes are real, like, oh, all black people love watermelon and fried chicken. My younger brother despises both of those things, and that doesn't make him any less black. There are a lot of white people that love watermelon and fried chicken. Doesn't make them,
any more black.
Big, any more black. It's a human thing. You like what you like, you don't like what you don't like. But there's a difference between liking something and just like totally despising a race. That's a hate crime, and that shit just does not fly. And the second thing is another thing that we're all just saying. You honestly can't judge somebody until you walked in their shoes. Like, I don't care what color you are. You can be white, you can be Mexican, you can be Asian. I don't care. Like, the color is purple. It doesn't matter. If you grew up a certain way, you were going to pick up certain things from your childhood and your surroundings, environment. That doesn't make you ghetto. That doesn't make you anything. It's just how you were raised, and it's where you come from. Me personally, I have 3 different friends. One of them is the coolest dude you could ever meet. He is white. The other one's a Mexican, and the other one is black. We all came
Giggity.
from nothing. We all came from nothing. The ghetto, just the slums, the worst of the worst. And we all made it out. That does not make any of us any better than any of us. We're all just trying to make something of ourselves. And that's all you could ever ask for, is to become somebody in this hateful world. You want your kids to grow up knowing that you've done good. You want your kids to grow up doing good for their kids. That's all you want. And no matter what, you have to... I just feel that some of us shouldn't have to fight harder to get it. Like, some of us have the same amount of education as the next person, but yet we get treated just different because we have a darker complexion, and that's it don't sit right with me. But yeah, I'm done. Y'all can talk.
I'll just wrap it up with final thoughts, and we'll be on our way.
I'm just curious. This is what I'm saying. I'm just curious about the fact that how come me, as just as profiled as a black male, have to feel scared of my surroundings and scared for my life, that maybe I will die one day and that I will never come back, because that will never be the same me. That's what I'm thinking of the most, because like if I were to go out tomorrow, because I felt good about myself and I felt good, and I were to just go out and I didn't feel like resting. Next thing you know, somebody profiles me for the wrong person, I get shot. I'm just another kid on the news, or just another young man on the news. They won't know who I am. Only people that will know are you guys, and you guys will have the stories, but then everybody else would be like, who was this kid? What was he gonna be? And that's all they're gonna ask. And I'm just gonna end up like another kid on a t-shirt. That's all it'll be. But then to my close friends, I'll mean something more than that. And that's what it is. Because only the people will feel saddened that I'm gone is the people that are closer to me. Everybody else will just be saddened, but not as saddened as the people that got to know me and how happy I was and how they knew that I had a smile more than other people in this world that were just cruel and dark and terrible.
There is no justice for us. And that's what I feel we need to work harder at getting. We need to make this shit equal. Yeah. And it just bothers me that people are still stuck in their mindset that, whites are dominant. This, that, racism is fuck. Mm-hmm. Just sometimes to me racism is hilarious, because I'm just like, you have all these stereotypes, but you have no idea what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
At times, I just want to prove to people that we are capable, And you know, that's when it becomes funny when we get to prove and show out and show that we are capable and we can do these things that you all think we can't do. That's when it's funny. But when you're actually just, you know, fucking us over, denying us of good jobs, you know, that's when the shit becomes personal and it starts to hurt. So, you know, I just think it's fucked, bro. It's a rigged world, and we never come out on top.
I think my final thoughts are, it's not us who need to change. Like I said earlier, people say black people need to change and we need to do better. We don't need to change. I think it's the justice system and the working system. I was about to say economic system. It's the justice system and the working system that needs to change. Because we're not the ones we don't determine what job we get. We can only do as much as this is who I am, this is what I'm capable of. But at the end of the day, we're not the ones with the paper in hand. We're not the ones bless you. We're not the ones making the final call of who does this and who does that. Bless you.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I'm a dude in a suit working at a CEO office. I'm not the one at the end of the day who decides with the gun on my side, am I going to shoot this guy? Because he's so much just raised his shoulders against me. That's not my choice to make. And I don't want that choice to be made for me. That's all I got to say. Eric, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, the fact that these stereotypes and all this crap, this profiling crap goes not only to our workplace, not only to like how it affects our education, how it affects people see us, like, because at the end of the day, like Peach said, you could be a dude in a suit working for a CEO, but they're not gonna look at your credentials. No, it's more about looks, and that's what's stupid. Like, why put us through all this shit? Why make us go to school, you know, learn all this? I mean, our parents are basically the self-teachers. Some other people, yes, school is good, of course, but if at the end of the day you're gonna look at us and how we look, why make us go through a bunch of work stuff and all of this if a certain percentage of them are not gonna look at our credentials at the end of the day? It kind of doesn't make sense in that angle. And also something too, I just don't like how these stereotypes and this profiling doesn't only just affect job and education, but it affects our personal lives, how we grow up, you know, love, how people socialize with us, you know, and people are really picky, and they really just look at it as us being statistics. Oh yeah, look at a black dude. Oh yeah, he's black, 6 foot something, buff, muscular, has a tone, talks like a gangster, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, that dude's my homie. Like, that's how everyone would look at us. And people really don't take into consideration those old sayings, like those old sayings that our parents used to say to us: don't judge a book by its cover. Oh, what goes around comes around. Those things really mean a lot, and people just taking it for granted nowadays. It's just disgusting. We just need to do better. Us black people don't have to do better. We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to work harder than the next person who gets a job, the next person who walks through that door. Because guaranteed, I'm not. Guaranteed, when I have kids, I'm making damn sure my kids don't have to grow up through what my parents had to go to, my uncles and aunts, my cousins had to go through. Fuck no. Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty.
That's all for me.
Final thoughts.
Derek, didn't you get your final thoughts in already?
All I'm gonna just say, and we can end it on this. Y'all need to.
You're getting the last word, eh? You think you're getting?
This guy right here.
You could have give Eric the last words, huh?
This guy. All right, so look. All I'm gonna say, Eric, and Pete, you do whatever you want.
Eric, say something after he's
done. Oh my God!
Look, you fucking goofball, cool out.
Say something after
That's another thing. That's another thing, and this is it for me. Love is the key, and that's all we need in this world. Is a little bit more love.
Love is the law.
You just gotta make it official. I don't care what you think of that person. I don't care. As you see them as, you get the chance to talk to them. Because like Pete said, our counselors and everything, they talk to us. They showed us how it really is in the real world. So just love. Stop with the hate and stop with this oppression shit and putting the next person down because you feel self-conscious about yourself. Just love that person and keep it moving. Because we ain't gonna get nowhere by hating everybody. And I'm done. And yes, boy, I get the last word. End it right here.
That's the end of the podcast. But since he had something really just ring to mind. I swear I'm not trying to. You one up Derek, by the way. But anywho, this last quote, this for real going to be the end of the podcast. After this is my last thing to say. We do have a lot in common. First off, if you know where this is from, congratulations. You're a cool guy or girl. We do have a lot in common. The same air, the same earth, the same sky. Maybe if we started looking at what's the same instead of always looking at what's different. Well, who knows?